Many thanks to fellow Destruction Squad, Collection of the servers, Seattle's Cloud, 7RP server, the Struggle community, the Camera Crew servers, Friendly DayZ podcast, DayZ servers, Reclamation server, and the Settlement for making this video possible. DayZ number 2 has felt like a myth for many years now, but as of today, solid proof of its development has surfaced, and it didn't come from some shady leak or some backdoor insider. This is about as official as evidence can get, so I'm going to be breaking down every piece of proof we have so far that DayZ 2 is happening, why DayZ 2 is in active development right now, and how far along we are in that development cycle. Taking you back to June 2023, the Microsoft vs FTC legal case listed DayZ 2 as a Bohemia Interactive project alongside Arma Reforger and Arma 4, which is by far the strongest evidence that we've had so far that DayZ 2 exists in the first place, because court documents are about as credible as a source can get, given that the consequences of lying under oath are pretty damn significant. Naturally, this absolutely blew up online, and talk of DayZ 2 pushed Bohemia to release a public statement saying that they couldn't offer details, while confirming that multiple internal projects were in development, but most importantly, they did not deny that DayZ 2 was one of those projects. Now, while these court documents and statements may have been true at the time, it does not stop DayZ 2 from being cancelled at a later date. That is still possible because it has to survive the concept and pre-production phase that all standalone projects have to go through, not to mention if it's even financially worth building DayZ 2. That's a massive project when DayZ 1 is mostly working. Fast forward 2 years to June 27th, 2025, and we get the official announcement of DayZ Badlands. Yet after the fact of this DLC being announced, job listings for DayZ still advertise that this senior position is for an unannounced title, and the category of jobs during that time changed from DayZ to DayZ Series, implying that there are sequels. Of course, this could just mean that they haven't updated these job listings, and they should probably get on that. And the DayZ series thing, it might not mean anything at all, it could just be a name change. But even as of the date of this video, 10 months after that Badlands announcement, job listings for the DayZ series are still there, all with the same unannounced title wording. But the biggest giveaway here, and I don't know if anybody's realised this, but it says the word survival. Nonetheless, Bohemia Interactive have been working on a brand new IP in the survival genre behind the scenes, and this is a massive unannounced title. This strongly suggests that this is related to DayZ 2. However, the only mention of DayZ 2 was the Microsoft court case of 2023, which again, it could have been cancelled by now. But as of yesterday, the words DayZ 2 have graced our screens again. The second official document with DayZ 2 on is a trademark. Now, because this was registered on April 1st and had no name tied to it, I first believed that this was some sort of clever April Fool's, and I was like, I'm not falling for that. But on April 2nd, the company that registered this was released publicly, and this is what I was waiting for. It's confirmed to be Bohemia Interactive that registered this, and because they registered Arma 2 and didn't just keep it under the same umbrella as the Arma series, this is consistent with how they trademark their titles. A few months ago, a developer let slip words that stuck with some members of the community, and those words were DayZ 1, which you wouldn't ever say unless there was more than one, or maybe a series of DayZs. In the same sentence, which was a response to if modding is coming to DayZ, it was confirmed that modding on console was unlikely to come to DayZ 1. That was the brain fart. With a heavy dose of speculation and reading between the lines here, it could hint that DayZ 2 will support modding on console in the form of something similar to the Arma Forger Workshop, with the sentence before that one mentioning that the Infusion engine will power all future titles. So DayZ 2 is very likely to be built on top of the exact same engine that Arma Reforger uses, with Arma Reforger allowing modding on all platforms. And if this is the case, you would certainly need a senior UX and a senior environmental designer to develop such an unannounced survival title related to the DayZ series, seeing as DayZ is a completely different game to Arma Reforger in terms of how you interact with the world. Based on these hiring practices, I would say that DayZ 2 is in either pre-production or the core production phase, meaning that the concept phase, the very start of development, is complete and DayZ 2 has been approved and funded. During the pre or core production phase is when marketing plans start to take shape, as the devs will have something then to show the world in the form of teasers or gameplay footage, which is probably why we haven't had an official announcement of DayZ 2 yet, even though there's loads of evidence for it. They simply don't have anything that they're satisfied with that they're willing to present the world. This pre or core production phase usually takes years, and for a game like DayZ it will likely take longer, and I doubt we'll see any marketing for DayZ 2 until after DayZ Badlands is released, with it being extremely unlikely that DayZ 2 will release before Arma 4. We haven't even had an announcement of DayZ 2 yet, which is planned for the release of 2027, that's Arma 4. Given that the concept phase was probably happening during the Microsoft versus FTC court case, then the pre-production started in 2025 with those first unannounced title job listings. We won't see DayZ 2 until at least 2028, and that's an early estimate for a DayZ 2 that releases in early access. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see DayZ 2 fully release until around 2030. Predictions and speculations aside, you may say that I've gone too far with this and it may be just an April Fool's gag, and you can all point and laugh at me after I made this video, with each piece of evidence not really having the legs to stand on. But when you combine everything we know so far together, DayZ 2 is all but confirmed as far as I'm concerned, and all that remains really is the official announcement from the devs. When that announcement could be is anybody's guess, but when DayZ Frostline was first trademarked, DayZ Frostline was officially announced 2 weeks later. But given that this is a completely new title and a monstrous project at that, it could be some time before we get an official announcement, with perhaps some teaser as to what DayZ 2 might look like, or if we're very lucky, we get to see some gameplay, which would mostly be met with thunderous applause by the community, not because DayZ 1 is a failure, but because DayZ is very much in need of an upgrade. I believe a lot of people would agree with me there, and has a large enough player base to warrant the development of DayZ 2 financially, bringing the king of survival sandboxes into the modern era. To put it as plainly and bluntly as possible, Bohemia wants that money, players want that gameplay, and the evidence is consistent. DayZ 2 is not just likely, it is happening. A huge shout out to the Northerner who sacrificed his Reddit account in order to get this information to us. He emailed me directly about his Reddit post getting locked, and then he got muted and permanently banned from the DayZ subreddit for sharing this information. I don't know what's going to happen to this video, but yeah, there's some Reddit mod energy going on there. Whatever the case is, I don't agree with members of the community being banned for sharing this type of information. This is publicly available information. This isn't an NDA sort of situation. The Northerner helped us make this video, so it's only fair that I return the favor by trying to get him unbanned. I do ask the Reddit mods responsible to reconsider his ban, maybe look at the details and find out if it's actually a worthwhile ban. He's been posting on the subreddit for a year now, and you know, to ban him over this is it's not cool. Don't get me wrong, I have a lot of love for the DayZ Reddit mod team for managing a place for the community, but actions like this go against the core values of what open discussion is all about. Drama aside, let me know your take on DayZ 2, or if you have any evidence/counter evidence to this, remembering that DayZ 2 is not confirmed, but as of this trademark, it is happening. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.